Hi, this is Bernie here with Connections Consulting Group of Companies. How are you doing today on lovely Saturday afternoon, September the 5th? And it's not blustery out, it's not snowing. I have once in my lifetime seen it come this early, but like to the tune of a foot. But I'm glad we have an extended summer. It looks like right out till the end of October is what I'm hearing. So that is awesome. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Finishing up some work though, and today what I want to talk to you about, and stay tuned for a series of 4 videos here, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, to wrap up our capstone on our YouTube site, the Founder Connections site. And then we're moving on, and that'll give us approximately 150 videos all about our training, subjects, some of our personal life, our projects, and all that. And then we're going to be moving into an additional site, just like we have 2 Facebook sites, a personal one and a corporate one. And then we have a 3rd training vault. And we'll be adding a 2nd YouTube site here called Experiences and Marketplace Peace. And it'll have to do with dealing with some of the human rights issues as well. But one of the focuses of that will be doing business in a harmony kind of way. And that's what we're advocating as we go forth in this new millennium, especially post-pandemic as we move out and through the end of it. I think back to the 70s and 80s, there was ad slogans with some companies promoting fitness. And we used to say things like, life's a contact sport, play hard. We don't do that anymore. We say things like, let's cause low impact. And so we're trying to make an impact, but we're trying to softly dwell with others, right? As a company and a universe, I hope, and how we do things in our global economy. And that's respectful choices one to another as we do business in this new harmony of economy that we need to get sustenance and get back up off the ground and going forth, right? Okay, so that'll be coming on the 2nd site, and you'll hear more about that. But our topic today is called True Blue, Business Harmony. And what we want to do today is I want to share with you 6 secrets about business harmony, things that have made me personally a success and my company, I suppose, as we blast forth from here, and we've pushed forth from 2017 in our launch, did 2 years of content and internal development, got our first customers in 2019, I suppose. We did CRM projects for 3, where we build out $270,000 worth of work, and still collecting on that. It's coming in soon, a big chunk of it. We've been in talks all summer off and on about how that's happening with the merger of one company and then another. And we're pushing out into our first training contracts this year, with a deal on the books coming together this next 3.5 to 4 weeks with Hitachi to train their sales group worldwide, starting here in Canada and then over to Hong Kong next. So that's, I suppose, 10% down, so there'll be more inflow coming. But I still need my COVID CERB checks, because I've got promise here, and I'm right on the cusp of it happening. But I only got 1 CERB check out of 6, and I got into that hacker thing where they slowed down and wanted to check the ID of everybody, and I've verified, and I'm just waiting on the bank deposits. I need the money like anybody. I'm, a long-time Canadian. And so let's get going with that, hopefully. But anyways, just on a short note, we're going forward, and business harmony is our push here, because we want that with everybody. We want that as you connect and deal with your own customers, as a customer of ours, I suppose. But we definitely want that with you, and we always want it in our personal life, family and friend relationships, wherever we go. When you can work things out in harmony and get together all the time, going in the right direction, softly, the way you want to go, I suppose, as individuals, it's just always good. Nobody wants strife and contention, right? So we're going from there. I'm just asking you, as you do, as I teach these 6 key things today, these principles, I suppose, think wisely with a term of humility in your heart, as often a lot of you do when I see you, and also a wisdom pro thought from us, from Ancient Pro Wisdom, on just kindness and how to convey that to others in a hard time, because it is a hard time, right? And so those are the two thoughts on the tangent I want us to be on as I'm speaking here, as we think about these things. And I'll have a few other points as well, but there's 6 keys I would really like you to take home here. Now, the first one, we go back a ways into the old days of my life, but this is kind of it's a big one, and it's number 1. Be with number 1. Who would you want to be with except number 1? So if you can deal with number 1, who's going to give you the best services, and I propose we are, as Connections Consulting in the training and project business realm, then you want to be with us. You want to be with number 1. So be with number 1. Okay, so that's the second point, and that's key number 1. In all your adages in life, always try to pick that in whatever you're doing. And if you can't be with number 1 for whatever reason, well, maybe there's a soft number. Well, no, try number 1. Just keep trying until you get him or her, right? That guy, that person. So number 2 is, get going with what's going on. So get in, just get in. And there's always a time to get in. And I think back of a story of my youth, when we used to play tennis in my youth. And my dad got us memberships when we were kids because he wanted us involved with the golf course too. He was a member, my mother was a member, other adults. And the families, some of them, and we kind of started this way and leaned into a few of our friends, I suppose, to do the same. We never got too many. We were the one, us 3 brothers, that did it the most in my age. And that was, and my younger brother, I suppose, that was another dozen years later. But, it gave us a way to belong and include and be in family and invite others and be part of our club association. And we would do that, and we had excitable privileges to go up to the clubhouse. We weren't allowed in there. We were minors unless we were members with an adult who was a member. And we could go up. Our adults would finish their golf and go up for a beer or something, I suppose. And we'd go along with and have a Sprite or a 7-Up. We would play. We'd have access to the pool table, the shuffleboard, and we were just there with our parent as an underage, and that was an exciting third privilege of those as well. So, get in where you can get in. It was a lower cost fee to be a tennis member than it was to be an actual golf member, but that's where we were at in life. So if you can get in a low cost way somehow and include yourself with others who are maybe doing more costly things, but you're in the realm of them and their work and working together with them, that's a good clue. You start low and you get up high as you go, as you propel forward in your own prosperous growth. So that is something I encourage, especially in our times we're in, because it is tough for many people. But you don't want to exclude yourself and isolate away from the group, your associations, your friendship networks, even if it's online. Sometimes we draw back, and I hear, people say things like, and I've even said it once or twice, I'm just tired of Zoom meetings with people. And I not only have them with my family and kids, I suppose, but I'm networked with other people as well. And sometimes, I always am there for my kids. That's number 1. But, you got to be there for business and work associations too, because they're important. What pays the bills? So that's that. Number 3 would be water this down, everything you do, with prayer. Water it. Think of it like what you're doing. You're growing a plant. You're seeding it first, but then you're putting water on it to make it grow. So you want, and I got a loud fan. I'm kind of yelling here. I got a loud fan going in the background, and anyhow, been cooking some lunch today and stuff, so it's kind of like a farmer in his tractor trying to talk to somebody on his cell phone, and everything's whirring and running, and the auto steer and buttons everywhere. And anyways, we're on a day like that here, I guess, too. We can relate. It's harvest time. All our farmer friends out there, And we do our leadership courses for corporate farms and Hutterite colonies, I suppose. Anybody that wants to buy them, tracks of teams and all that. So when you think, actually there's time to think on the swather and the combine, the tractor isn't. So I make mention, isn't there? I make mention of it now. So that's good. So we'll be looking ahead at agriculture realm contracts in the future for training, but nobody's excluded. We find a way to work anybody in. No matter what realm or sector of society, government, I suppose, organizations, humanitarian, anybody that wants to be part, you can join us. So you're there. Now, why I say water it with prayer, and this is something you can credit yourself to as you're doing something good, because you're praying into your own business works and your own community of things you're doing, but it's like volunteer work. So if you're putting an hour into prayer in a week, I suppose, of your time, or maybe more, that's volunteer work. I mean, you are kept track of as doing some good volunteer work, even if it's only the Heavenly Father above that knows. But it's helping your business grow because the prayers get answered as they're things that are part of your plan that is the will of the Father in heaven. And that's a Good Samaritan Pro comment there from our ancient wisdom from the Holy Bible books. We've studied into the scriptures, as you know. So go forth with that and win by watering it with prayer first. Now, the second thing is include yourself with what's going on. I mean, the second thing in this portion of the meeting, in this second 10 minutes of the meeting here today, or this video, but it's actually the fourth point in the success secrets of business harmony, and that is include yourself in what's already going on. So getting in is one thing, but including yourself. So where you are, where you live, whatever your economy is, your business associations, who you're plugged in with, suppliers, everybody, your network, I suppose, include yourself. In other words, don't be complaining about things that aren't and don't exist and you wish they were, and you're always excluding yourself because that perfect thing you like to do isn't around or isn't happening. Find a way to include yourself in things that are happening until the thing you want to do comes about, and maybe you're working on it behind the scenes. But don't exclude, plug in, because it's important to get to know people and continue to build relationships in community, I suppose, and in your business association and organizational networks, whether it's community or any company you work in, retail, whatever. Stay at the shop once in a while after quitting time with the boys and talk and hang out a bit socially for a minute. Don't always be running home. If there's a ball team or a slow pitch tournament and it's a staff thing, like Mike's Hard, I suppose, Mike's Hard Lemonade could sponsor a team for Mike's Cafe. Maybe get a CCI logo on there. I'm a supplier of training products. Invite some key customers, some staff team, maybe some suppliers of Mike's Food Cafe. Some of those guys, I imagine, would love to do that, be community involved. That's the focus of their type of business. And I'm a patron there, usually having my breakfast there a couple times a week. And he's got some good, keg-style dining going on in the evening, too. Very good Venice House-style pizza. It's awesome. And I know that because I've seen the food and I've ate the food. And, so including yourself, there might be a slow pitch tournament coming up, but what a way to get to know people in your business environment, whether it's a local community or a trade association in a global network. I was in Saskatchewan once, and we drove all the way to Calgary to a rec hockey tournament, and there was teams from all over Western Canada, and it was awesome. And so these kind of things help, and it was an oil field tournament. I was involved with a bunch of oil field guys back then. So keep that kind of mindset and include yourself. Now, the fifth point of these 6 secrets to business harmony is get your needs met. Meet your needs, whatever they are. For example, if you're vacuuming and washing out your car on a 30 above day and halfway in between you're famished and thirsty and you live alone, run over to the cafe, have a cold beer and have something to eat and come back and finish it. Make sure your needs are met, and you're filling them, and you're getting them satisfied. You know, if you got a puck, find someone that has a net and put it in. You know what I'm saying, buddy? Like, that's the deal. Like, you gotta work with others to get your needs met. It can't always be just you alone. And in this environment of COVID, we're more prone and exact at drawing back because we've had enough of it. We're tired of hearing about it. We don't want to watch the media anymore. We don't want to talk to other people about COVID and masks and requirements and where you got to wear them and when you don't. So we draw back, and we don't want to do that. We want to stay plugged in. Well, you know as a person how much your own well-being, some people are more introverted, some are extroverted, so you're going to mix socially in different quantities or proportions in a week, I suppose, but you figure that out. The point is, don't withdraw. It's a first step in suicidal tendency when you start withdrawing from humanity and getting out on your own and thinking nobody's with you and everybody's against you, okay? So that's a first thing you got to watch out for, a warning sign. So stay getting your needs met, and making sure that involves going to other people for help or whatever satisfies that requirement of whatever your need is. Put the puck in the net and get her going, baby. The last and sixth point is B, the letter B for burden. B, just B, okay? Now you're a leader, that's why I'm talking to you. And we have a leadership course called Staff 1 and Staff 2. And Staff 2 is more about leaders, leading leaders, I suppose. And I propose that to you. You may want to win with that course by trying us out in the future, even if it's tomorrow, the next day, a month, or 4 months down the road, or 6 months, whatever I propose. But the point for here is the burden. Now, if you're giving advice to somebody as a leader, you got to know if you want to do business in a harmony kind of way, whether it's a staff person or a coach of others that you are coaching, or maybe it's your general manager of a company you own, or so forth, right? Coach them in the burden with strength. They have a burden for something that's going on at any given point in time, and they're maybe struggling with it a bit, but they look like this big, brutish bear just in a burden about something. And they're trying to figure it out, and they want advice, and they may look for it from you or others, whoever I'm coaching perhaps. Well, coach them in the burden, whatever it is, because if you're coaching people on any given topic at any given time, and you're creating contention and strife around you, you don't want that. There's lots of habits that are getting corrected, bad ones from the past. Anybody can come out of it and get better habits. Bad ones. Good habits, you let things be, harmony. Coach in the burden. It'll always be met in a harmonious way when you coach people in the burden for where they're at. If you start yelling at them in the steam for what you think is right and wrong, when there's no burden there for anybody, you're in trouble. So those are the 6 secrets of business harmony. Let's just sum them up in order one more time. So get with the number 1, okay? Get with the 1. Number 2 is get yourself into whatever's going on however you can. If you got to get in at a low-cost level just to associate somehow and be connected with others who are doing other things higher up, get in there somehow. So you're in the know, you're on the go, you're in the flow. Okay? Number 3, water it with prayer. Okay? Always, I propose, water it ahead with prayer. It's like a stream flowing ahead of you, and you're in your boat floating down the river you want to go on, right? Because you've already watered it with prayer. Hey, amen. That's a good idea. That's a good thought. Okay. Now, the 4th point is include yourself. Don't include yourself with what's going on. Don't blame others for what isn't happening. It's up to you to figure out how to make it happen if it's important, but include yourself with what is happening Even if you got to go out into Hilton Park next door where I live in this community, and you want to be on a slow pitch team, nobody's invited you, you've never played much, just start lobbing the ball back and forth to one of your buddy neighbors and get your association coming together. You'll have a team in there. You might have green t-shirts for $10 at Walmart, and the next team might have red, and they might not say anything on them. You might have a felt pen. Don't worry about pro up everything to the nth degree of expense right off the bat, right? Like, just get in where you can and enjoy life and have fun. Enjoy it. And this is also good for your community relationships and business, I propose, that flows out of connectedness with other people. Even if it's just half time, it's not all the time, it's just once in a while. But it's a step, so then you are going out and staying connected, and it builds confidence in you to talk to other people, I suppose, when you are in business settings too, because you're not introverted and isolated beyond your means. Now, number 5, of course, was get your needs met, and do that in associations with Don't go running around to strangers all the time. Try to do that with close personal friends, people you know the best, people that take care of you. You've already proven it in your life. And you might try some new people once in a while if you see they're offering something and you feel like you trust it. But be wise, okay? And be wise about that. Make decisions wisely. Make sure it's profitable to you and the other person both. There's scammers, so beware of that. And then the last, number 6 point, of course, was the burden. You're not carrying the load by yourself. Everybody has a burden for something in this society and humanity, in every realm that they're in, all the business outworkings, the outcroppings of society and life. I even see one of my friends down the lane here watching over the neighbor's kids sometimes when they get away because dad was talking on the phone and he's a single dad, whatever. That's just good sense, is to be, just a good neighborly person, getting along, interacting, even if you aren't really friends, just getting along in the dwelling association. Be friends if you can be. So, just however life is, just trying to get along. And then that burden is met and carried by many people. And you coach in that only. Don't be contentious and strifeful and preachy news people don't want to hear. Coach in the burden only. These are the 6 secrets to business harmony, the true blue method approach of CCI in the inner dwelling of who we are at coach level. Bern May here, the coach, the bear, and the outer workings of how we broadcast in our system of media. We now have 10 different media channels going, and we're adding up to 2 more, and that'll round out our total everything we're doing, so you can tap into your flavor, whatever it is, and you won't miss anything, because we don't duplicate much, but you'll find your niche of what you like, and we have a lot to offer, and we're doing it more and more with company and with people all the time. It's way beyond inception and launch. It's into active customer handhold now, and we're looking forward to growing business and adding people. I'm currently looking for 4 people as I finalize my capital loan deal, hopefully by the 15th of September, and we'll start small with 4 people. I have a 27 staff encompassing plan here at the home office in Calgary, but we're going to start small. I believe in start small and take steps upward. There'll be an operations coordinator, a marketing and business development lead, and a bookkeeper data clerk, as well as myself, the general manager, CEO. So we're going forth with that. I miss my kids. We normally see each other in June. COVID took that away. I'm hoping the 3rd level of the economy gets opened up here, and with that the borders come open, and the realization of instant COVID tests. There's people working on that stuff. Not alone. I know the vaccine and all that is being developed, and we've heard there's certain amounts being tried out now, but these COVID immediate tests are going to be a big thing, because there won't be any delays. We won't have to bubble anymore and isolate. It'll just be instant. Crossing borders, oh, no COVID. And, or anything. Going into business settings, going into sports team outings, And I mean, you don't want to live in fear, but people want to be. When you have technology working in your favor, then you can be wise, and it's always good to be wise. So we're going from there, and we're gonna see you soon. We got 3 more videos. One tomorrow on more of the inspirational hour talk, and then we'll have a few caption, maybe some humor notes, because you gotta laugh too. Some of my daily life, personal stuff that maybe you like to look at once in a while too, so you see who I am and know I'm the same kind of guy as you, just maybe got some different technical training, and my assertion out there is going forth, and I'm encouraging you to do the same, because we can build this market and we can rebuild and resurrect this economy forevermore and go forth into the humanity eternity that way. So signing off now, Business Pro Bernie May, Business Pro Ethic Bernie May, and we've bought into this land in terms of we're here, both feet planted, and you know that, and we're not going anywhere. We're going forevermore forward. There's no reset button going backwards. And even if there are days where you're stalled out for a moment till you figure out the next step, and everybody has that, the old saying is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Well, that 1 step back one, we're going to that's like just pause button for a minute, and then we go forward. Because there's no sense jumping forward if you don't know what you're doing yet. You got to figure out that next step sometimes. Go from there. Bernie May, signing off. Have a good day. Amen.